Okay, and I just praise. I had a little list here. I want to just praise to Sim, Sean, Lauren, and Mitch, and Vitor, because Sunday was a lot of fun, and we met back up and spent another 3 hours making curves, and we made one backwards, and it was a lot of fun. Anyways, I also dish praise to Olivia for coming back. It's good to see you. Dish praise to Mitch because of his contributions and content. I don't know what I'd do without you. I also want to just praise to Katie because we had a great call and your contributions to onboarding have been great. And I dish praise to who's myself. I'm going to dish praise to myself. Jake rocks. I rock. Now I'm going to pass it back to Mitch. I don't know who. No, wait. Yeah, Mitch, have you gone? Go, Mitch.
I haven't gone, so I'll take it. I'd like to praise Sam, YGG, and Jake for that big Sunday sesh. Like, you guys were just like powering through the stuff. Lauren as well. Praise Wesley for working hard on all these weird token log bugs. Livy for staying on top of the MVP campaign. And I feel like I saw a How to Become a Hatcher document, but I can't find it. And I think that was Jess, Jeff, Eduardo, and Manu. Am I crazy? Does that exist, or did I dream it? Anyway, they get praised for that. I hope it exists. And I'll pass it to Anne-Marie. Anna-Marie, sorry.
Thanks. Yeah, let's see quickly. Praise to Griff for my scholarship request going through so quickly. That was immensely welcoming. And unexpected, so thank you. Big praise to, I hope I'm going to get this right, Jeff, Nate, and Jessica, who all said they might come and speak to Inspiral, which is super exciting for me. Praise to Olivia, thank you for your warm welcome on the soft graphical. Praise to Tam, thank you for your very warm welcome here. And apologies if I missed anyone. And with that, I will pass to Lauren.
Hi, cool. I would like to dish praise to Sam and Sean and Jake and Mitch for the bonding curve Params hack session on the weekend because it was super fun. And I'd like to dish praise to Griff for posting the intro to the dashboard video because it's really helpful to understand everything that's going on. I want to dish praise also to the Common Simulator team, and especially Vitor and Marco, Merlin, Griff, Danny, Fabio for hacking on Deep Dive Part 2, which you're going to be getting ready to release soon. And I want to dish praise also to Tam, because every time Tam speaks, I feel like happy for some reason. You're so bright. And I want to dish praise also to Jake for making me laugh every time he speaks as well. And I jumped in a little late, but I will pass it to Santi if Santi hasn't gone.
Santi did go, but let's see. Chewy hasn't gone, right? Oh no, Chewy did go. I just passed it to Chewy right away. Okay, yeah, let's go for Suga. Hey, Katie.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, I'd like to dish praise to Craig and Griff for being in person. That's like mind blowing. I love it. And I'd also like to dish praise to Chewy, Jake, and Craig, again, can I do that twice? For the latest chats, and Vive IV, who I just briefly exchanged some words with, so that was fun. And always, I like to dish praise to Livia and Tam for their ongoing support, and Jess for correcting me in my dishing of praise, my mistakes that I was making. And also to Griff again for my scholarship. And for Anna-Marie for bringing in Spiral and your awesome sounding proposal and all of that. Thank you.
Oh, you broke up. Did you pass it to someone?
Oh, no. I saw. Sorry. I was just so excited about the timer. Okay, who's next? Back to you, Griff, because I don't know.
Sure. Let's throw it to Miles. Miles, are you able to take it?
Sure, I guess so. Hi, I'm Miles. I don't know any of you all, so I'm just going to give praise to Griff for getting me in, and Anna-Marie for also being in Spiral. Yay! I have to find out what you do there first. Oh, I need to pass it to someone, Griff, but I'm not sure who's gone either. Sorry.
No, it's okay. It gets tough at the end. How about Nate? Nate, have you gone?
I have gone, yes.
Oh, yeah. You did go. Dang it. Oh, we have Sebastian. Hey, Sebastian.
Hey, pass praise to Livia's kick-ass hat and Griff's kick-ass attitude, and to the rest of you for being kick-ass rock stars. Who's left?
How about Nuggin?
Nuggin. There we go.
Yeah, the rainbow vomiting panda.
Hi, yes. Well, I just was kind of lurking here. I don't know if I'm right. I'm pretty new in this and wanted to join in some way. So I don't know if this is the right call for that.
This is a great call for that.
Okay.
This is a great call to get introduced.
Yeah, so I don't know anyone, so I just want to praise you all for what I've seen you've been doing and the great energy that you show here.
Cool. Well, I can pass it for you as well because it's starting to get real tough. Sem, you still have to go, right?
I already went.
See, I can't even get it right this time. Does anyone still need to go? I think that's it. Okay, cool. Well, thank you all for coming. Let me share my screen and we can get this started. That was the fastest praise ever. So much praise to Zeptimus for bringing in the timer and for everyone to give us the space to make praise a little bit faster. As fun as it is, it's also fun to get through all of our topics. So I'll be facilitating this call. Wonka will be moderating. And thank you all for joining. I would love it if someone could go find, maybe I can pass this to Tam to go get Jay Rush and get him through our Discord onboarding because he hasn't found this room yet. Thank you, Tam. He'll be presenting the spotlight tonight, so that's super cool. If you haven't seen, if you don't see these notes, they're usually in the TEC general channel. Livia always does such a great job of posting that. And check them out. And inside this agenda call, there's this awesome link. Gravity has already solved 6 conflicts within our greater community, which is so cool. And if there's any other issues, big or small, that you want to bring out and that you see, help us strengthen the relational fabric of our community by just reporting it in this thing, and that way we can address it before it gets to be a big thing. If you haven't joined the TE Praise channel on Telegram, definitely get in there so it makes it easier for us to issue praise on Discord and Telegram. And if you haven't done this yet, add this calendar to your calendar because it has all of the events, and there's so many in the TE space, and there's going to be more, especially in the upcoming weeks. So make sure to add this to your Google Calendar and check it out. The purpose of this call is really just to collect action items and give everybody updates. So if you do see anything that anyone can improve or have any ideas, you can actually just type it straight into this Google Doc. It's super cool. You just write a comment, just start typing or make a comment, and then we'll capture those comments and integrate that into our process. Also, if you really are above and beyond, though, you can join the Zen Hub Revolution, and you can make an issue in our coordination board or make comments on our issues for anything that's going on. You can see all of the action on this Zen Hub board. It's pretty wild. And then, well, I don't want to ruin the awesome news. I'll let Tamara give the updates on the roadmap and updates from the community stewards.
So I'd just like to start with a request. We are initiating a little SEO project, and if you or anyone that you know would be interested in helping us improve our SEO, send them to Nate, please. His Discord is Nate Suits on Discord. Okay, so progress toward our hatch is the thing I always like to start off with. We are over 360,000 die and soft commitments with over 81 committed hatchers. And we have still a long way to go, but I'd like to share our roadmap and really zoom in. So we're going to be starting Sprint 8 tomorrow. And as everyone can see, Sprint 8 is the last sprint before the hatch sprint. So it's very, very exciting. This is just the final push before we hatch in Sprint 9. So congratulations to all of the stewards and every community member who's gotten us here so far. And then, you know, at the end of the sprint, we always have to say goodbye. It's a little bit sad to say goodbye to our hatch, which is why we have these excellent retrospectives. And I just want to zoom out for a minute. We've been doing retrospectives for 7 sprints now, so we can go back and see everything that we've done better and that we've all of the wins that we've celebrated and all of the actions that we think we can do better. And just to zoom in a little bit now for our actions to improve for the next sprint, we selected have a published step-by-step conflict management process connected with graduated sanctions. So stay tuned for that in the next sprint. And our sprint boards will be updated tomorrow if you want to come see what we have on our plate for the next 2 weeks. And with that, I will pass to Olivia.
Sorry.
Do you want me to pass it to Santi first?
Yeah, that's what I thought. It was I can go, but
my bad.
Should I do soft golf now? Or no, Santi, you go.
Okay, I'll go first. I'll be quick. Thank you, Olivia, and thank you, Tom and Griff. Working group. We in the past weeks, and we will be probably in a couple of weeks. For the teams are gonna requesting for funds. That's what we're on, and we'll also be starting for voting on once the DAO is created. And we meet on Fridays, 4 p.m. Central European time. You're more than welcome to come and join us. And that's about it. So I'll pass it to Olivia now.
Okay, should I go? Juan, do you want? Okay, I'll just go, and then I'll pass to Gravity. Okay, so SoftGov, we have the mission, vision, value results. So we close this session, and we will have a final runoff with the stewards on Sunday, and this session is open for everyone to look into all the results that we had and see the top ones, if they are similar to each other, if we need to have a second runoff, how were the forks displaced, and how the message that the issues that were forked from are bringing with them. So we have the top one, advancing token engineering for the benefit of humanity, with 498 votes. The second one, advancing TE via culture and economy, with 474 votes. And the brain trust with 436 votes. So that was really exciting to have this process happening. And we have some cool data points that Wesley shared with us. So in this round, the amount of votes that have been cast was 90. And it's quadratic voting, so 90 still represents a lot of tokens that were used. So it was 90 votes using 24,932 of the voting power, with a total amount of 1,858 votes. And they came from 18 unique addresses. So we had 18 people participating in the voting session and 10 people that submitted proposals. I think this is a really great runoff, because it takes time to look at this carefully And we're really grateful that so many people did look at it with the care of what is going to be the mission, the vision, and values of the Token Engineering Commons. And in the future, we can reiterate on this process. So it was also great to have tested token log that will be used again for the parameters. And once we have this meeting on Sunday, we'll come back, and on the next SoftGov call on Tuesday at 7 p.m. Europe time, we'll announce what is going to be the final result. So from Sunday until Tuesday, there will be a short period for the final vote, and we'll communicate this very well. So stay tuned, and thanks to everyone who participated. And I'll pass to Gravity.
Thanks, thanks, Libby. Well, in Gravity, we have tried to implement several processes, like the rotation process. If anyone wants to take some me time, but right now we are testing our processes, and that is why we are even though the Graviton training is finished, we keep training to manage conflict. And our 3 calls to action for this week is we are making a Gravity survey, so you can advise and review what we're doing. The second call to action is to fill the Gravity type form if you have any conflicting issue. And the third call to action is to review the mediation form for transparency in Gravity. This is an idea that I took from last Stewards retrospective, that we talked about making the Gravity process a little bit more transparent. So I already made this mediation form and I applied it in some cases, but I haven't shared it and passed it for the advice process. So anyone can take a look at it. And my idea is to, if we have a good eye on it, we can post it in the forum. And I think that is my presentation for Gravity today. And I will pass to Eduardo.
Thank you, Juanca. Hello, everyone, again. In the Hatch Outreach Working Group, we have made a sort of clear path now to divide the attention to 2 main specific points. One is to onboard token engineers. That's a focus that we are trying to achieve now, and because it's really relevant for our community, of course. And then to also focus on proposals and to help projects that belong to Gitcoin or projects that catch our attention or are referred by someone from our community or in any of the calls that we may have. So we are now focusing on these 2 aspects. We encourage everyone, if you know a project or a token engineer, you want to be a bridge in between us and them, sending their contacts or so on, you're more than welcome to do so. We also have 2 calls. We had the call that it's on Wednesdays, 6 p.m. Then we have the welcome, which is a onboarding general call that it's in between SoftGov and Hatch Outreach, which is on Wednesdays, 4 p.m. And then we have a specific AMA for anything related to the Hatch, which is on Thursdays, 1 p.m. We actually had Benz. I don't know if Benz is on this call, but Benz came today. It was really nice. He actually, we did it from his car. He was in his car just before he jumped into his job. We had this 30 minutes talk where basically I invite everyone to join also, because we basically walk through the Hatch and any doubt or question that you may have. Sometimes Griff comes in, sometimes Tamara comes in, and we have a nice conversation and we clear any questions that you may have about it. That's a little bit about us, and I will pass it on, not to Livy again. I don't know to who I will pass it on. I will pass it on to Septimus with transparency.
Thank you, Edu. Yeah, on transparency, we reach a workflow since we are a very small working group, and we changed the schedule. Like we're doing bi-weekly meetings now. Then, yeah, I also want to say, like, go check the forums. Like, all the audits are there. Big praise to check for that, and Edu for mentioning it. And yeah, and a call to action I would like to say is like transparency. It's built together. So yeah, if something you feel like it's missing on the DAO or whatever, like just engage on the forum. If you cannot make it to the call because it's too early. Yeah, just happened with the gravity thing. Like it's us who build transparency together, and I'll pass it to Working Group Omega.
Yeah, just a call to action for the Working Group Omega is to fill the type form and also to pass around to token engineers that you know or that you would like to know more about their environment. So it's a really interesting research that I think will bring a lot of awareness and clarity for the space. So help us spread the word there. And I'll pass to Chewy.
Thank you, Lee. So for comms, we meet once a week on Tuesdays, 9 a.m. PST or 6 p.m. CET. We are constantly looking for better and more efficient ways to handle comms. One of these, I think Tam went through it a little bit, but yeah, we're looking for someone that has experience in SEO. As an example, we Googled like some projects to see how their mediums are organized and just their content in general. I think One Hive has done a great job. Block Science, I think, would be ideally like what we want to achieve whenever we Google the TEC. So if you know of anyone, send them to Nate or anyone from the comms group. We're also making some efforts to handle our content and distribution. So if you want to make a suggestion or review like any of the ideas we have for this, we have a link to the document. And also just to make another invitation for a meme party tomorrow. Last week I wasn't able to do it on time, but if anyone wants to be there, is a lot of fun. And I think we really like underestimate the power of memes in the whole space, and just like the availability to have content in this channel and just like hang out and have fun and listen to music. So don't miss the meme party tomorrow. And I think that's it for me. I'll pass it to Jake, Params.
Yeah, hi everybody. Params is going swimmingly. And if you don't know, my working group is the best working group. We are the cool kids, and that's where all the cool kids hang out. Oh, I also want you to know that you probably are not aware of this, but there is a Shaolin Temple of keyboard kung fu masters in Brazil. And if you actually want to meet and see what they can do, you come to a Params call and you will find out. You're going to learn how to chop your keyboard in half by looking at it. They are Gitbook masters. Anyways, Params is going well. We meet Wednesdays and Sundays, and they're usually just work sessions, and that's why it's so much fun. And GroovyBot is there all the time, and sometimes we occasionally make memes. What else? The dashboard is almost so ready for you to actually use, and it's going to be so exciting. Your choice, your economy. And again, we're going to utilize token log in the same fashion. So make sure that you pay attention to that, like Livia said, so you can get your practice, because we're going to need it. The upgrade, we are on our way to understanding bonding curves and doing this thing, and we're making progress there. So it's really exciting. With that, I'm going to give it back to Sim to go over the comments. Yeah, you, bud.
I just want to add, actually, the Hatch dashboard is ready enough. We can start playing, and we will schedule We'll schedule a call for the leaders of the Hatch dashboard to start scheduling lots of calls. I think one learning that we had from the MVB is that we needed to make more space for people to do it, to play in like a supported setting. And so we want to do that for the Hatch parameters too. So we'll make sure that there are lots of calls that people can join to start proposing parameters and actually make them live, because they're ready. It's ready. We're going to get this party started, and we're going to make the due date, I believe, to about 2 weeks from now. So yeah, let's get it going. Sam?
Okay, so I am sharing my screen too. If you remember last week, we said that the vote was not ready. Well, it was ready at the end. So I brought this forum post.
Actually, Sam, I'm not seeing your screen. Can you unshare and reshare?
Yeah. Okay, just a bit of the sum up of what we have been doing with the demo. We had 22 contributions and raised 19 WX dice. So due to the 5% hedge tribute, we ended up with some tokens in the redeemable vault and some tokens in the non-redeemable vault. Right? We had one test tech for XDAI, and then we applied the impact hour formula. So people received test tech based on their impact hours. So using these parameters, we got an impact hour rate of 0.004, which is of course very low, but with 90 with 19 X dice, what were you expecting?
Every impact hour is worth half a cent. Congratulations.
And the hedge tribute at the end was 60%. Of course, we probably will have a much less cultural tribute in the real setting. And you can play with these things in the hedge dashboard. I just want to say that yesterday we found that it was not responding very well with the test settings because of rounding errors. So we were actually not sure if we could not properly validate that it was working as expected. So I know that I told you, Griff, that yeah, let's roll with it, but also let's have some. Let's wait also a little bit until we know that it works expected. I mean, we can start using it, but let's still have a look at how it works. This is the dashboard that we use with Griff. Select the parameters of the demo, and well, we minted this test tech based on the impact hours. And now people can do two things. One is to redeem their impact hour, their test tech tokens by XDAI. This is one of the things that they can do. Right now, it is not working because many things. We have many problems with redemptions right now. One is that the IPFS is not. We are not finding the front end due to well, the node just stopped working, and we will be fixing this evening with Paulo. So people right now cannot redeem, but we hope that we can fix it very soon. And the other thing that people can do with their test tech is to vote. So we had a vote last week, but we did not reach enough quorum. So here was the vote. Actually, I hope that it shows here. This was the vote, but it was rejected because we didn't have enough quorum. So we needed a 10% and we only got 5.24%. So there is a new vote this week with exactly the same thing, and we already got a 7.61%. So people, if you have TEC tokens based on your impact hours, please go here and donate and vote. And what this vote is doing is to migrate from the old DAO, which is this one, to a new DAO, that it's not the usual DAO that we will have at the end. It's just a DAO with 2 votes. And what it does is to send 10% of the total funds to one vault and the rest to the other vault, and then create a snapshot of the TEC H token, so we can mint real TEC without the H, so the real ones, but not the hatch ones. Probably it's we have some trouble with the names, but the idea is that we will be able to do this migration, which we obtain locked TEC tokens, but in the demo TEC tokens in the new DAO. So this is the vote, and I hope that we can fix the problem with redemptions, because we and if you cannot see this, we also have some more problems with the Ethereum nodes and IPFS gateways. If it doesn't work for you, then you can come here in Aragon and in network set up these settings. xdai.onehive.org as an Ethereum node, and if it doesn't work and if you keep having problems, you can put here ipfs.io/ipfs. So with those settings, you should be able to vote. We still keep having problems with different fronts, but it's time they are less and less relevant. So this is my update.
Nice. Thank you, Sam. And as Sam said, it's really important that we pass this vote for testing purposes. And so there's only 48 TEC tokens that exist. So these are very highly scarce tokens. And there's a few heroes here that are whales. So if you're 0x919, 0xDC2, 0xE5D, 4D5, any of these people, oh my gosh, rock the vote, get out there and get us to pass this vote so we can see you're the whales and you get to control our destiny. Please support this vote. But with that, actually, we have so much time. Wow, this is amazing. This is the most time we've had for any presenter. I'm really excited that it's Jay from TrueBlocks, formerly QuickBlocks, someone who I've been in so many calls with over the various years. And I've seen this presentation so many times. He's really good at it. So I'm excited to pass the mic to TJ and tell us about TrueBlocks.
Thank you. I'm not sure how many of you I know, but I hope to know all of you at some point in the future. I'm sure if you're friends of Griff's, you're wonderful people. So, let me just. So I've been building. I met Griff. Well, first of all, can everybody hear me?
We hear you great.
And you see my screen.
Yep, Eleanor Ostrom's 8 Principles.
So I met Griff back in the days prior to the DAO, and I fell in love with all of the ideas that people were talking about back then and that Griff is still talking about. And basically the idea of human beings coming together and doing amazing things because they're working together. And I kind of found this one of Eleanor Ostrom's principles interesting. And in particular, this part of that one. So it's develop a system that is carried out by the community for monitoring members' behavior. And this has always been the focus of my work, to try to get the data that all of us are creating on the chain more easily accessible to not only the developers of each of these individual smart contracts, but to every individual member that uses those smart contracts. So one of the things I see that's happened over the last 5 years is it's really true that the only way that any community member can actually get to the data about a smart contract is to go to the smart contracts website and to go through the developers of those smart contracts. And I actually think that in the long run won't work out for building commons. So I want to just show you kind of what I mean. It's quite hard to explain this, but if I can just try. So this is a piece of software that we're building. What we built is a backend. We built a backend piece of software that scrapes the Ethereum main chain, and it builds what we call the missing index to the main chain. And once we have this index of where on the chain a particular address appears, then we can easily extract all the details about that address. So this is my address, and I'm just showing every single transaction that ever happened on my address. There are 516 of them. And now you can I'm going to try to help you understand what I mean by not having to go to the websites of these different smart contracts to see what I've done on this website. So as I scroll down through here, you can look here, and it's showing which smart contract I interacted with. So there's Psi, there's the common stack, there's the name service. If you were doing this, there's Pope. So if you were doing, there's Gitcoin, DAI, and so forth. So if you were doing that in any way other than, I call this user-centric browsing of your own behavior. So you're actually interacting with your history, and you're seeing what you did on each of these individual websites or individual smart contracts. And then what we do is we want to start by doing accounting for this data. And we are, so right here, I'm doing the accounting for the Ether. So I'm saying that we had 0.7 Ether at the beginning of this transaction here, and we didn't spend any, so we should have the same amount at the end, and then we reconcile that transaction. And here it says we had 1,600 DAI. We received 1.9 DAI, and then we ended up with that balance, and then we reconcile. And the reason we want to reconcile is because we want to know that we understand every single thing that ever happened on our address. Because I think that also leads to people having a feeling that, as I was mentioning before, if you have to go to someone, even the developers, to get the data about what's happening on a smart contract, there's something lost in that. And I don't think that the community gets this deep sense of that they know exactly what's happening in the community, even though the developers are wonderful, excellent people. If the whole community has to go to the developers, there's still some kind of barrier between actually being engaged. So let me show you one other example, if I can find it. So this is one of our friends' addresses. I just wanted to show you what happens when you do some of these different Wi-Fi transactions. So here he spent a little bit of Ether, and it looks like he spent USDC and USDT to accumulate some $43,000 in DAI here. So our goal is to reconcile every transaction so that we know exactly what's happening on an account. And then we can start doing things like summarizing the data. So this is just the Ether transactions. And then we can build things like summaries of everything that happened on this, charting. We can look at who the person interacted with, what functions were called, and different stuff like that. So the basic idea goes back to Eleanor Ostrom's monitoring by members carried out by members of the community. So that's kind of what we're building. And thank you, Griff, for the opportunity to share.
No, I just want to, I love TrueBlocks. I'm a big fan of this project. I want to add just a couple things. The biggest thing that TrueBlocks is doing is everyone's using Etherscan, right? And TrueBlocks you can run on your own node, and it's better than Etherscan because it shows you all the stuff that are affected. You can basically create a whitelist of addresses that you've interacted with that you care about, and then boom, you see all of that information in more granular detail than Etherscan can even show you. But Craig actually had a good question. I don't know if you wanted to ask it.
Are you contemplating submitting a proposal in the forum for any of your work, or yeah, that's.
I'm so focused on my work that I never lift my head up and see what else is happening in the world. So I probably should be, because I'm funding this myself. But I've been involved in the Common Stack because I believe in Griff's. Griff has just been
cool. Does anyone else have any questions for Jay?
Oh, I wanted to say one other thing. We have a Discord. I'll put it somewhere in a chat thing here. Someone had asked me if there's a Discord. So. Yeah, we're getting to the point where we're starting to roll it out. So,
if you have any time, we can actually have a small session to see the submission of the proposal to the forum, if you feel like, because I'm the one who helps onboarding proposals, so I can reach you out and we can talk about it later on.
I'd love to. Thank you very much.
Cool. Well, is there one more question for Jay at all on TrueBlocks?
Can I just say, Griff you made a great point. This entire thing runs on my laptop, and that to me is really important as well, because it has to be decentralized. Because if it's centralized, we're just going to fall down the same old paths that we've been in forever. So it has to run. To me, it has to run on a desktop. So that's always been important. Thanks.
I'm curious because we've been working a lot with the Ostrom's principles, and we have a transparency working group led by Zaptimus here, and this seems like a really great tool that could be implemented within our transparency practices. I wonder if there is a way to perhaps put like all of the trusted seed addresses that are connected to the commons to have some type of like collective data just for the TEC, to have blocks of like, and then perhaps someone that could analyze that data and feedback to the community more on like behavioral practices rather than what people were spending or like not details that could compromise privacy, but more like a general behavior thing.
Right. I think there's definitely a question about privacy versus, openness. And that's something that we all have to kind of figure out, because I think what will happen ultimately is people will use a purposefully public address for any public stuff and a purposefully private address for private stuff. And that's how privacy gets solved. And I'll send a link as well to some stuff we did for the Gitcoin grants. And what we did there is we extracted data for all 1,800 Gitcoin grants, and we created like a public site for all of that data. We didn't do any of the analysis. I'm not that great at doing analysis. I'm good at getting data, but not analyzing it so much. But I wanted people to be able to have the data so they could do their own analysis. So yeah, I'd be totally open to that. Yeah. But you guys use XDAI, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. And it's a really good point that Olivia makes, because we have this trusted seed, the Common Stack's trusted seed, and to keep people honest and trusted, that we're going to need to monitor their address to make sure that they're not pump and dumping the comments that they share, right? Like, and acting in good faith. And so it's very important this on-chain data that we have access to on-chain data. And ideally, it'd be nice to go straight through our own node as opposed to just having to trust Etherscan. Because what do you know? Maybe Etherscan, Matthew Tan, who runs Etherscan, his address could look pristine because it's just his website. He can make it look like whatever he wants. It's crazy, We can't, even though Matt's a great guy, he would never do this. This is not what we signed up for in crypto.
That's right. That's right.
So thank you for your work, Jay. Or TJ, sorry, Jay. I used
Jay. Huh?
Jay. Back in the day, it was TJ Rush for me, but
that's right. Thanks for the opportunity. It's nice to meet you all.
Yeah, thank you guys. And we'll end this one a little early. Thank you all, and we'll see you next week. Bye, everyone.
Thanks, Jay.